Today what I want to discuss with you is the issue of sleep and hopefully give you a few tips on how to sleep better. Um, Lack of sleep or extremely shallow sleep is such an epidemic in our society because we are a frazzled and frantic culture. What actually happens during sleep is that our consciousness goes back to its original home base where it's meant to dwell in anyway. In dream forms, what we consider dreams are actually rims of consciousness that are far more real and far more eternal and a natural way of the mind to be. And thereby, since the mind and body are connected, the body itself gets kind of a rejuvenation and goes back to its original state of being. That's why we feel so refreshed after a good night's sleep. So before I get too deep into the metaphysics of sleep, I hope to give you a few tips that can help you in getting better sleep at night or in the day. First off, try to go to bed every night at the same time as possible because the mind and the body, they get the message that this is sleep time and it goes to bed at the time that you have directed it to go. So try and keep like a set time in which you retire at night. I think a common mistake a lot of people do is excessive activity before they go to bed. Excessive frantic activity, it could be physical, mental, at least a few hours before you go to bed. Try and wind down activities. Like you might want to read something soothing, something pacifying. You might want to watch something extremely light on TV. You might want to reflect on the day or your future plans. But a few hours before you go to bed, desist from excessive frantic activity. Third, there's the age-old herb, chamomile tea, or any light green tea, any light kind of tea with the modest, very slight amount of caffeine. You don't want to go excessively on that. And speaking of caffeine, light amounts of caffeine are actually beneficial in putting you to sleep because what they do is actually they stimulate certain kind of dream patterns in you that you have better dreams if you have just the slightest amount of caffeine. I'm not talking about a shot of coffee, but green tea, very mild teas, white tea, oolong teas. These teas, they actually stimulate the nervous system ever so slightly that you have better dreams at night. So slight amounts of caffeine are absolutely okay. Also, if you're a light or a sensitive sleeper who is easily disturbed by surrounding sounds, or if you sleep in the daytime, as I do often, it's helpful to have something called a white noise machine. A white noise machine is something that blocks out the surrounding sounds. Hold on, let me show you something. This works over here. This is something that I got from Brookstone just like the other day. I have actually been using stuff like this for the past 3 or 4 years, and it has been absolutely instrumental in blocking out sounds. This, for example, is a fairly simple white noise machine that has like about 9 or 10 different kind of sound settings. I don't know if you guys can even hear it as well on the video, but this is white noise, and then you can, that's probably the loudest it can probably go. I hope that sounds well on video. I'm gonna change the sound from white noise to something else. That's the brook and celestial, summer night. This is the relaxed mode, which has ocean surf, thunderstorms, serenity, unwind, stream, meditate, focus, rejuvenate. It's a really sweet little machine. Costs like about $100. But yeah, that definitely blocks out sound if sound is your issue, if surrounding sound is your issue. Another thing that you can also do is lavender oils, lavender and rose oils, or sprays that are available in lots of health food markets like Whole Foods or I don't know, Trader Joe's also. But Whole Foods, your local health food store, if you can get lavender oils, if you want to rub it on your wrists, on your temples, dilute it, of course, with some other oil like sesame. And another tip is you might want to massage the soles of your feet with sesame oil. If you don't have sesame, some other kind of heavyish oil like almond oil is really pacifying to soles and hands, also hands of your feet. Just a light, like a few drops on your feet and your hands That definitely helps with falling asleep faster. And of course, there's the age-old remedy of a cup of warm milk, which is very pacifying to the nervous system, and it sets it in a pattern of rest before you go to bed. And also, you might want to avoid foods that make your nervous system more jittery. For a lot of people, that's popcorn, sodas. This is a very personal choice matter because you probably know, if you've lived long enough in this world, what makes your system more jittery. So anything that stimulates or makes your nervous system more jittery, you want to avoid. Another very, very important technique I would want to share with you is the practice of transcendental meditation, or it's known as TM. Find a TM practitioner near you. If you have chronic sleep problems, I cannot recommend this more than anything, because I used to have chronic sleep problems. I mean, I used to be kind of a light sleeper, and this sets your nervous system into a pattern of rest like nothing else ever can. Ideally, you're supposed to meditate twice a day. When you first wake up in the morning, 20 minutes, and about 20 minutes in the evening hours. There's nothing, I mean, if you have chronic sleep problems, go find your nearest TM practitioner. I'm sure you can find someone in the Yellow Pages, or if you look up the Natural Food Directory or something wrong. Specifically, if you live near a major metropolis, this should not be a problem to find. Another very important tip: have a full and activity-filled day. On the days that you've used your mind well, you've used your body well, where there's been stimulating activity throughout the day, are the days when your sleep is deeper. And when your sleep is deeper, the next day also is a far more brighter day. So have an activity-filled day in which there's lots of physical activity, you worked your mind, you worked your body, and sleep will come. You know, for people who work hard throughout the day, sleep is so not an issue. But if you're just stuck in the head and just doing mental work throughout the day and no physical activity, expect restless sleep. And last but not least, and I'd like to leave you with this: if there's an issue that's been bothering you, like an answer you want for some kind of a problem in your life, before you go to bed, instruct your mind to give you the answer when you wake up in the morning. Let's say you are wondering whether you should take a job that's across the country, and you're confused as to whether this would be in your best interest, and if this would be a good decision to make. Instruct your mind, and the subconscious will give you an answer within the next few days. Ideally, you know, when you first wake up in the morning, you have a pretty good sense. Things will be brighter and clearer as to whether you should be taking this job or not. So, good luck and good night.